Hey guys, welcome to Keepin Real Estate. I'm Alex Morgan. Today I want to talk to you about something that's very near and dear to my heart. It's softball. So a little background on me. My parents actually met for the first time actually talking to each other at a softball field. And if you knew their whole story, then you would understand why I said talking for the first time. But anyways, we're not talking about them today. So softball's been in my family for a long time. My dad's been a coach since he was a teenager, and my mom would just go to his games, watch him coach his sister and things like that, and even neighborhood boys stuff. I mean, my dad coached softball, baseball. He's an amazing coach. So my sisters and I, being born from that couple, we love softball, and I've been playing since I was 4 years old. I am now how old am I? I'm 27. So it's been a long time. It's been 23 years that I've played some sort of softball. Now I'm not anywhere near the competition that I used to be, but I still like playing, even though I'm not as fast or anything. So I love softball, and there's so many things that I've learned from it that I haven't really shared with people, because I always heard people say when other people talked about their experiences as an athlete, they're like, oh, they're just living in the glory days and they just can't let the past go and they can't move on and live their life. And so I internalized that and made it so I couldn't tell my own story and help other people. Then I've been listening to this book. It's called Relentless. Can't remember who the author is right now. I just know that he was a coach for Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan and a lot of other amazing basketball players that are all being considered the GOATs and things like that. So, he's a pretty good guy to have as your trainer. So I've been reading his book, and it's called Relentless, and it's just like telling you to be powerful and to not think when you do things and just do it anyway. And it's really given me that power to say, screw what everybody thinks. If they don't like me telling my stuff, then don't friggin' watch. and it's more important for me to share my experiences and possibly help future athletes rather than worry about if I'm making other people uncomfortable. So I'm here to help future athletes. And one of the things that I always get asked, and it's like always is, I was a walk-on at U of A. I was not a scholarship player. I earned a scholarship later in my career because I was successful and I worked hard, and that was one of my proudest moments is when Coach had me in his office and told me that I earned a scholarship. But besides that, I was a walk-on. So my first year was very hard. And the thing that people always ask me was, was it worth it? Was it worth the pain of my own teammates at times telling me I wasn't good enough, or referring to me as the walk-on, or coming up with other nicknames to talk about me in front of me without me realizing it? And, I look back at all of that and I'm like, yeah, there's times that really friggin' sucked, especially since, when I became a starter as a walk-on, it wasn't really great for the people that had scholarships that were watching me play. And so I had a lot of difficulty, overcoming that, and, the constant mental games that people try to play to make you not be as confident in yourself and not be as great of a player. And, my freshman year, it really took a toll on me. And by the end of the season, I had my exit meeting with Coach, and he told me that he doesn't see me starting again the rest of my career, at least not at U of A, and that I should transfer. So, as somebody who it was my biggest dream to go to U of A, I was like, oh my God. And then I asked myself this. I'm like, is this worth it? Like, is this worth the pain that I'm going through, the mental abuse? And not by any of the staff members. I loved the coaches and the trainers and the sports psychologists, like everybody that was at U of A was great, and I had a lot of really great teammates. There were just, a few sour apples that did not want to see me succeed because I wasn't supposed to succeed as a walk-on. And I was asking myself after the meeting, I'm like, is all of this worth it? Is it worth it to keep going through this, and the physical pain and the not being able to walk when you first get back, and when you're going to conditioning after practice and you're like, there's a bus there, should I just whoops, tripped in front? And we would joke about that, which is really dark now that I think about it, but it was just we were so exhausted. And it's because you're supposed to be mentally pushed. You're supposed to really get to where your limit is and then be pushed beyond it, because you're not just supposed to be some subpar athlete that's going through the program just so you can say, yeah, I played at U of A. You are going to be the best. You're going to be one of the best in the country, and you're going to push yourself, and everybody's going to push you too. So all this is going through my mind. And I'm like, okay, I just had the worst exit meeting I think I could possibly ever have. I'm going to cry for days and just kind of evaluate what's going on. And when people ask me, was it worth it? I always go back to the week after my exit meeting. I was going back and forth on if I wanted to stay at U of A or not. And just so you know, I've wanted to play at U of A since I was 10 years old. That was the first college game I went to. We were playing a tournament in Tucson, and U of A was playing, and my coach thought it'd be a great idea for all of us to go and see what they were like. And I just remember how amazing they were. And I watched Coach, and he was so intense and passionate, and I could see how his players responded to him. And I was like, oh, play for him. Yes. So then, fast forward to after my exit meeting, when the guy I idolized since I was 10 years old told me that I should probably transfer. And I just thought about it, and I'll get into more about my softball career and what it was like for me and how I came to even play at U of A. But all I'll tell you right now is I was an underdog my entire life, and nobody believed in me except me and my parents. And so I think back to that week when he told me to transfer. I'm sitting in my room. My roommate Stacy Chambers, she came in, and she's like, well, what are you gonna do, Alex? Are you gonna transfer? And she was done. She had just graduated. And I'm like, I don't know, Stace, what's keeping me here? And I thought about all the people in my entire life. She's not good enough to go to U of A. You're not good enough to be on our team. You're the 12th player on an 11-player team. You'll never make varsity. Oh, okay, you make varsity. It's because your family's been in the program, and just all the negative. And I mean, that's just some of the stuff that I remember. And then when I was getting recruited, oh, you'll never go to a Power 5 conference. Oh, okay. Went to a Power 5 conference. You can't make it to a Pac-12 school. You definitely can't make it at U of A. Oh, you're never going to start there. Just go to a community college, and then we'll find you a different D1 school to go to. And I thought about all those things, and I really just was beating it into myself, all that negative talk that people said to me. And I just kind of looked within myself, and I was like, fuck it. And sorry for the language, but I really did this. I was like, fuck it, fuck them, fuck him, fuck it all. I believe in me. And that moment in my life is just one of the most amazing moments, because that's when I always believed in myself more than everybody else did. But to have the man that you idolize for, at that point it was 9 years, to have that man tell you didn't belong there and you should transfer to a different school, he'd help you find somewhere that you could play, and blah, blah, blah. And so I went back to him and I said, I'm staying, and I'm going to be a starter. Sophomore year, I wasn't a starter, but I started junior, senior year and had an amazing time. And, you know, all of that is awesome. But that moment where I realized that I didn't need anybody else to believe in me. Like, everybody can say whatever the hell they want. That doesn't mean it's true. It only gets power if you give it power. And that's just when I realized that I am in control of my own destiny. And that's usually what I tell people when they ask me, like, was it worth it? And, you know, because of the injuries I had and the adversities I went through. And I'm like, yes, every minute. I eventually earned coaches' respect and love, and I love my teammates. And yeah, the freshman year ones were a little difficult, but like, other than that, I love the people that I'm now surrounded with because of going to U of A. And I love the person that I am because I had to give myself the tough talks there, and I had to be honest with myself and accountable, and most of all, I had to believe in myself. And I know people that are my age and they still don't believe in themselves. And I feel bad because I know that they took the safe route. They went somewhere that they knew they'd do well, blah, blah. And I took the one that it was going to give me a bunch of gut checks. It was going to keep challenging me the entire time I was there. And it was completely worth it because now I know what I'm capable of, and I am going to do everything fearlessly now. And it's because I had everything crashing down around me, and I just had the courage to say, fuck it, I'm gonna do what I want. So that's my first one about softball. That one was a little like crass. I'm sorry. I am a bit of a crass person, but you know, ultimately when you are an athlete, or when you're someone in business, or when you're a teacher, like just a person that has to really do their best job, you can't always worry about pleasing everybody and worrying about what they say and what they think of you. Because if you give all that they're saying any thought, then now you're giving it power. And the real power is within you. And it's just so amazing to know that, again, I'm in control of my future. Even if I'm not in control of other things, I know that I'm going to determine how my life is going. So there's my first one. I hope you guys enjoyed it.